Hey guys, I'm Chico from Chico Study Corner and I'm here with the fifth part of electrochemistry, that is class 12th chemistry. So, without any further ado, let's get into the chapter. Before you watch this part, if you haven't watched my previous sessions, please go watch it. I will put those in the description below. So, first now we have to learn about conductors and insulators. So, we know what is conductors, we know what is insulators. What is conductors? Conductors are substances which allow electricity to pass through, whereas insulators are substances which resist or which do not allow electricity to pass through them. So what are conductors? Examples of conductors: there is metals, acids, etc. Whereas insulators are rubber, wood, etc. So now conductors are of two types, that is metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. Now we will discuss about their differences. Now we will discuss about the differences between the two conductors that we learned, the metallic conductor and the electrolytic conductor. The first point is how the conduction takes place. Under metallic conductors, conduction takes place by the movement of electrons, whereas in the case of electrolytic conduction, movement of ions result in conduction. The second point is about their compositions. The composition remains same in the case of metallic conductors. In the case of electrolytic conductors, the composition differs. How is the composition different? When electricity is passed through, what happens? The electrolyte decomposes to form its own constituent ions. So there is a change in the composition. Okay. The next point is in the case of metallic conductors, there is no transfer of matter. But for electrolytic conductance, there is transfer of matter. The last point is the increase in temperature would decrease the conduction in case of metallic conductors. Because as temperature increases, kinetic energy also increases, which result in increasing vibration rates. As vibration increases, the collision increases. As collision increases, what happens? The free flow of electrons would be restricted. So when there is a restriction, the conduction decreases. In case of electrolytic conduction, as temperature increases, conduction also increases. That is because as temperature increases, the constituent ion will move faster, which in turn will increase conduction. So in this chapter, we will be dealing about electrolytic conduction in detail. So we will learn about the factors that affect electrolytic conduction and the terms which are used for electrolytic conduction, etc. Now I will be discussing about factors affecting electrolytic conduction, and there are 5 factors. We will discuss about each of them in detail. First we will list out those 5. The first one is the nature of electrolyte. The second one is the concentration of the electrolytic solution. The third one is the effective temperature. The fourth one is the nature of solvent and viscosity. The fifth one is size of ion and solvation. So first we learn about the nature of electrolyte. To talk about the nature of electrolyte, first we know that as the number of ions inside an electrolytic solution increases, the conduction also increases. As number of ions increases, conduction also increases. Okay. So when it is a weak or strong electrolyte, a strong electrolyte would decompose faster into its or it will decompose completely. Complete dissociation would happen in the case of strong electrolyte. In the case of weak electrolyte, there is only a lesser extent of dissociation of ions. So what is the conclusion? As dissociation increases, the number of ions also increases. Therefore, conduction increases. Okay. So that is the first one. Second one is the concentration of electrolytic solution. We'll discuss about that. So, concentration of electrolytic solution. What happens at higher concentration, the conduction decreases. So, what is it? Higher concentration, lower conduction. So, let's take the case of a strong electrolyte. In a strong electrolyte, as concentration increases, there is more interionic interactions. As there is more interionic interactions, the free flow of electrons is restricted. So there would be a decrease in conduction. In the case of weak electrolyte, the dissociation is less, or there is only lower number of ions, or therefore dissociation is too less, therefore there is no increase in conduction. Their conduction will decrease only. So the next factor we have to discuss is the temperature. So the third factor that we discuss is temperature. So, but to talk about temperature, as temperature increases, conduction also increases. So, what is it? As temperature increases, conduction also increases. So, this is our third factor, and we'll discuss about the fourth factor now. So, the fourth factor that we have to learn is nature of solvent and viscosity. So, if the solvent is highly polar, or the polarity, as polarity increases, the conduction also increases. So, polarity increases, conduction increases. In the case of viscosity, as viscosity increases, conduction decreases. So what are the 2 points? Over here, as polarity increases, conduction increases. As viscosity increases, conduction decreases. And the fifth factor we have to learn is about the solvation and ionic size, or the size of the ion. So the fifth one is size of ion and solvation. So as size of ion increases, what happens? The solvation also increases, resulting in decrease of conduction. So what is it? As size increases, what happens? Solvation is increased. It increases to a greater range, which implies in the decrease of conduction. So now we finished about the factors affecting electrolytic conduction. So now we will be discussing about the important terms that comes under electrolytic conduction. So the first one is resistance. So what is resistance? Resistance is the opposing force against the flow of electrons. Against conduction, opposite force against conduction is known as resistance. It's represented by the letter R. It has its SI unit called as ohm, that is represented as like this. Okay, this is ohm. And then what is resistance? We'll write the equation. R is equal to, before telling about it, R is proportional to, resistance is proportional to length, resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. Okay, therefore it implies resistance is proportional to L by A. R is equal to, there should be some constants, no? That constant is represented by the letter rho. Rho L by A. The next important term that we have to study is about this person, that is rho. Let's see. That rho is called as specific conductance or resistivity. So, specific conductance or resistivity. That is represented by rho. So we learned that R is equal to rho L divided by A. So what is R? Rho is equal to R into A divided by L. So how do you define, or what is resistivity? Resistivity is a constant or a value when the resistance is 1, the area of cross section is 1 centimeter square and the length is 1 centimeter. So when everything is in unity, then it is resistance. So we'll define it. Resistivity is the what? Resistance of a conductor when the area of cross section and what the length is in unity. What do you mean by unity? When it's in 1. Okay, so we define resistivity. Now we have another term called as conductance, and we'll discuss about it. Now we are discussing the term conductance. Conductance is represented by the letter G. So what is conductance? Conductance is the ease with which an electron or the current flows. Okay, so we'll write what is conductance with respect to resistance. So we know conductance is the inverse of resistance. So we can write G is equal to 1 by R. Okay. So now we'll see about its SI unit and the equation. By the way, I forgot to mention the SI units of rho, resistivity. So rho is equal to ohm centimeter. Okay. So rho is equal to ohm centimeter. Now let's discuss about conductance. So we know that G is equal to 1 divided by R. R is rho L by A. So rho L divided by A. So G is equal to rho L by A. So now we have to write it in the proper form. A by rho L. This is the formula. Now I have to tell you one thing, that is 1 by rho is equal to kappa. So 1 by rho is equal to kappa. Kappa is also a constant which comes over here. So we'll discuss about the kappa later. So first let's find out the equation. So implies that G is equal to kappa A divided by L. So this is the equation. Okay, this is the equation. Now let's see its SI units. Okay. So SI unit of conductance is what we are going to find next. So we know conductance G is equal to 1 by rho A by L. So what is 1 by rho? 1 by ohm centimeter. Okay, that is 1 by rho into area is centimeter square divided by length is centimeters. So we'll cancel this and this, this and this. Implies G is equal to ohm inverse. Ohm inverse can be also written as MHO, or another term SIEMEN, Simon. Okay, these are the three terms. Now we'll be discussing about kappa. The next term, that is conductivity or kappa. So we'll define conductivity. Conductivity is the conductance of 1 centimeter cube of electrolytic solution in a conductivity cell where the distance between the electrodes are 1 centimeter and the area of cross section is 1 centimeter square. Okay, that is the definition of kappa. So let us see what is kappa and how do you find its SI units. So we know that G is equal to kappa into A divided by L. Implies kappa is equal to G into L divided by A. L divided by A. that is called as cell constant. So what is it? Cell constant. Cell constant is represented by G star. So what is kappa? Kappa is equal to G into G star. Okay, we have found out what is kappa. Let's see what it is. What is its SI unit? So we know that kappa is equal to G into L divided by A. We know G is ohm inverse. So ohm inverse into length is centimeters divided by centimeter square, area centimeter square. So this will get cancelled, this will get cancelled. So that is ohm centimeter inverse. So that's the SI unit of kappa, or Simon centimeter inverse, or MHO centimeter inverse. So this is all about conductivity. So friends, we've come to the end of today's class. So I hope you might have liked it. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe to my channel if you're new. Share my video to your friends. So see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye.